From the giants of air defense between a radar that identifies and a missile that bombs the target, Russia is superior to all the great countries in it. It is the Russian defense system S-400. Sky News Arabia titled it, "Hunts all targets. Imaginary capabilities of the Russian S-400." The newspaper said, "Imaginary features. The S-400 Triumf is a mobile air defense system capable of detecting air targets at a distance of 600 kilometers and confronting 80 targets simultaneously by directing 2 surface-to-air missiles to each target." According to Russian reports, this system entered actual service in the Russian army in 2007, and its development began based on the system that preceded it, the S-300, during the 80s of the last century, and underwent practical testing in 2004 where it successfully confronted a ballistic missile. This defense system targets all types of warplanes, including stealth and drone aircraft, ballistic and guided missiles, and medium-range missiles, as it has different types of missiles, each of which can confront a different type of air targets. It can also engage and destroy aircraft at a range of 2.5 kilometers to 380 kilometers, in addition to its ability to destroy aircraft while flying at altitudes ranging from 10 meters to 30 kilometers. It also has the ability to destroy ballistic missiles at a range of 5 to 60 kilometers, while destroying them at altitudes ranging from 2 to 25 kilometers. System components. The S-400 missiles are launched at a speed of up to 4,800 meters per second, and are the most advanced, and outperform their American counterpart, the Patriot, in many ways, according to the Russian Sputnik agency. Sergei Druzin, deputy head of the Russian air defense complex Almazanti, says that the system has a range of up to 400 kilometers and can intercept fast targets flying at a speed of Mach 15 or 4,800 meters per second. It also has the ability to detect targets due to the ability to deal with the external radar capable of raising the antenna above the forest, and it launches vertically and then heads in any direction it wants. The S-400 missile system consists of a long-range radar that tracks targets and transmits information to the command center, in addition to a center for identifying targets and a command vehicle that gives orders to launch missiles. Military experts say that this system is among the best in the history of the missile industry, as it uses 4 different range missiles to cover its operational range, including the 40N6 missile with a range of 400 kilometers for long-range targets, the 48N6 missile with a range of 250 kilometers for long-range targets, the 9M96E2 missile with a range of 120 kilometers for medium-range targets, and the 9M96E missile with a range of 40 kilometers for short-range targets. These missiles can be carried together on the back of a single transport and launch truck, taking into account that this is compatible with the surrounding threat environment, and it is considered one of the most powerful weapons used in air defense worldwide, and military reports describe it as the most advanced in the world. Military expert Major General Ahmed Ismail says that the S-400 Triumf missile system is capable of destroying all types of aerial targets, including cruise missiles flying along the ground, drones, and even the destructive warheads of ballistic missiles that reach speeds of up to 5,000 meters per second. Among its specialties is that no other air defense system can follow its path, and it is capable of intercepting all types of missiles and warplanes. He adds, the system can be equipped with 5 types of missiles with different missions and purposes, not just 4, and among them is the 40H-6E missile, which is used to destroy important and complex targets, including long-range radar detection aircraft and enemy stealth aircraft, at a range of 400 kilometers. The Economic Times newspaper headlined, "The S-400 Air Defense System dropped down almost the entire enemy package in a maneuver." The Independent newspaper headlined, India says Russia has backed out of delivering a large shipment due to the Ukraine war. The Defense Post newspaper headlined, Russia says Turkey cannot deliver the S-400 system to the United States amid growing speculation. The Eurasian Times newspaper headlined, Turkey excludes the Russian S-400 missile system from the ambitious Dome air defense program Steel. Forbes headline, Why might Pakistan or India want to acquire Turkey's unused Russian S-400 missiles? Nordic Monitor headline, Turkey excludes $2.5 billion Russian S-400 missiles from new air defense system project. Military Watch magazine headline, Russia finally tests unique S-400 air defense missile with 400 km range, how pairing with A-50 flying radar aircraft maximizes accuracy. The newspaper said, Russia used the S-400 long-range air defense system in the Ukrainian theater to launch missiles with active radar guidance, and linked it to the A-50 airborne early warning and control system to increase situational awareness against targets. The description of the missile used matches precisely the capabilities of the 40N6, a unique missile class used by the S-400 to facilitate targeting at ranges of up to 400 kilometers. The missile's unique trajectory, which ascends to extreme altitudes in near space before descending toward its target, provides unparalleled over-the-horizon strike capabilities and allows it to neutralize targets near the edge of its range at altitudes of up to 5 meters above the ground. This allows the S-400 to target low-altitude aircraft and cruise missiles at long ranges in a way that no non-Russian air defense system can do due to the Earth's curvature limitations on surface-to-air munitions that follow conventional trajectories. Despite being operational in October 2018 and delivered to the People's Liberation Army of China as of 2019, the 40N6 was not known to have been tested in combat before its use in Ukraine in early November. The N6 radars on the S-400 system itself, and the advantages of radars from high air positions providing targeting data on low-altitude targets, made pairing with aircraft valuable for ensuring accuracy. A source close to the Russian Defense Ministry told the state news agency TASS about the missile's combat use and its pairing with the A-50. Russia used the S-400 Triumf system together with the A-50 early warning and control aircraft in a special military operation in Ukraine. The S-400s fired anti-aircraft missiles with active guidance heads. The use of the system against enemy aircraft was successful. The missiles were fired at maximum ranges to hit targets at altitudes of about 1,000 meters, and new warheads were used in the engagement. Although the A-50 AEWNC is deployed in relatively small numbers in the Russian fleet, and despite recent upgrades still has limited combat readiness, Russian fighters carry on average radars that are roughly twice as large as their Western counterparts, providing very high levels of situational awareness and allowing them to provide similar targeting data. The MiG-31 Foxhound interceptor carries the largest radar ever mounted on a tactical combat aircraft, more than 6 times the size of the N/APG-68 radar on the US F-16, which is designed to provide very high situational awareness against low-flying ground targets. This also makes it an ideal airborne sensor for pairing with long-range ground-based air defense systems in certain units using the 40N6 missile. Russian officials, including President Vladimir Putin, have claimed that the country produces surface-to-air missiles at a rate greater than all other countries combined, and while this remains uncertain due to the unknown scales of Chinese and North Korean production, it is clear that Russia has a comfortable lead over the combined production capacities of all NATO countries. This has allowed it to deliver S-400s to both Belarus and India, the latter at a very high rate, while simultaneously expanding its forces and replenishing missiles spent during operations in Ukraine. This scale of production has been achieved largely due to the construction of 3 major new facilities, including a new wing of the Obukhov plant in St. Petersburg, a completely modernized Avtek plant in Kirov, and the NMP plant in Nizhny Novgorod. This long process began in the 2000s and allowed facilities to mass-produce the S-400 in the latter half of the following decade from around 2016. The current massive scale of SAM production has allowed multiple new S-400 regiments to be put into service annually, alongside the production of other long-range systems such as the S-300V4 and S-500. The combination of the S-400's high mobility and situational awareness with its very long engagement range has allowed it to threaten enemy fighter aircraft over very wide areas, while also providing a broad area defense against all types of tactical missile attacks, including missiles traveling at hypersonic speeds. The newer S-500 system expands on this capability, and while it is not well optimized for tactical fighter aircraft, it provides defensive capabilities against intercontinental ballistic missiles, satellites, spacecraft, and faster classes of hypersonic weapons, while also providing a formidable 600-kilometer engagement range that outperforms even the S-400's 40N6 missile. With Russia's S-400 divisions set to exceed 60 in 2027 to 28, the 40N6 is being widely integrated into existing units, with production rates of the missile estimated to exceed 300 missiles per year. This reflects the fact that Russian funding for ground-based air defense assets has over the decades outpaced funding for tactical combat aviation by a factor of several. The New York Times headlined, "What is the S-400? The Russian missile system in Turkey that's upsetting the Pentagon." The newspaper said, "The S-400 surface-to-air missile system is one of Russia's most advanced air defense weapons. It is an upgraded version of the S-300 system, the Soviet response to the American Patriot missile batteries introduced during the Cold War. The S-400, also known to NATO as the SA-21 Growler, consists of several components, a truck that carries and launches up to 4 missiles, and separate radars, operating on different frequencies, that communicate with each other for greater accuracy. What sets the S-400 apart from older systems is its ability to target and attack multiple aircraft at an average range of 250 kilometers, or about 155 miles, and at altitudes of up to about 82,000 feet. The S-400 is designed to serve as the backbone of an air defense network with several layers of defenses, such as short-range missiles, placed around it. But not all Western defense analysts view the S-400 as a penetrating weapon. "It's both quite capable and terribly overpriced," said Michael Kaufman, an analyst at the nonprofit CNA Corporation think tank. Although the S-400 has been touted as a magic bullet for defending against stealthy, radar-evading aircraft like the F-35, the S-400's radars would still struggle to track those types of jets and accurately target and fire on them, Mr. Kaufman said. It's also unclear whether the S-400s Russia is exporting, like the one delivered to Turkey on Friday, are downgraded from the versions Russia uses to defend itself, Mr. Kaufman added. The Pentagon is concerned that Turkey will need Russian technicians to train the Turks and calibrate the S-400, and that in the process Russia will learn too much about any F-35s the Turks might acquire, information the Americans want to keep secret. As a result, the Pentagon has threatened to remove Turkey from the F-35 program if it goes ahead with the S-400. But CNA's Mr. Kaufman said the U.S. concerns were overblown. Their view, he added, was not technically valid. The only thing the S-400 could do with its radars, Kaufman said, was track the flight path of an F-35 fighter, something Russia already does in the Middle East and the Baltics, with S-400s in Syria and radar stations in Kaliningrad tracking U.S. aircraft like the F-35 F-35 and F-22 all the time.